Welcome back to the Brothers Grin, everybody. I got another Am I the A-hole here from Reddit. This girl wrote in, it says here, I took my shirt off at a music festival. Her boyfriend's 18 and she's 18. It says her boyfriend is freaking out about it and she wants to know if she's the a-hole. It says, I was at a giant music festival. I wasn't flirting with anyone or talking to strangers at all. I was solely communicating to my friends. At some point when we were deep in the crowd, I was overheating and felt like passing out. So I took my shirt off. A lot of people were in swimsuits and men and women were shirtless everywhere. It was late at night and I was surrounded by my friends. No one even noticed or cared because everyone was watching the artist. I would have had to walk through the crowd and to my campsite by myself to get water, as the headliner was super popular and there's no way I would have found my friends after that. So I would have been by myself. I wasn't being promiscuous in the slightest, and I genuinely didn't think it would be any different than wearing a swimsuit. My boyfriend is upset and yelling at my best friend for letting me do that and thinking I cheated on him and can't trust me because of it. I get it, but everyone I've talked to is telling me he's acting crazy. I understand his point of view a little, but I wouldn't care if he took his shirt off. Hell, even his pants off anywhere. Are my friends and I in the wrong? Just for note, I was wearing a bra, not fully topless. I'm not going to leave over this either. I understand his point of view, and it's a boundary of his that I'm more than willing to respect now. The only thing I'm still upset about is his reaction. I think he expected me to agree with his side of the argument, and I don't. But I will respect that boundary further because I think we both should be happy and comfortable. So, I don't know. How'd you feel if your girl just walked her shirt off at a concert and was in her bra?
I mean, it's way. If I was 18, well, that's the thing, man. What is it? It's kind of funny because I was having this conversation today. Personal levels of modesty. If you're a modest dude and that's your attitude towards things, and then maybe you're hanging out with a girl whose modesty level is not the same level as yours, who's less modest than you are, that can definitely be a butt heads kind of scenario. Imagine if you're a modest guy, whether it's religion, personal preference, the way you were brought up, something you decided on down the line, and your girl that you're with or somebody you're hanging out with is not that. Not that that's bad. It's just, that can create conflict in many scenarios between people. And obviously, I don't know the dude. I don't know the girl. I get music festivals. And that's kind of the thing, too, is most likely a EDC kind of music festival. And girls are already running around. Like, have
Well,
you ever
every
seen
rock
photos, bro? It's
concert,
bathing
yeah.
suits and
Look,
furry boots.
freaking Woodstock, dude. Girls were topless everywhere.
You
Hairy old
know,
armpits,
butterfly
just
wings, stuff like that.
smelling like patchouli oil.
I understand the guy and his just his lack of approval on it. Maybe not the severity of it if he's really coming crazy. Because I mean, at 18, that's all learning stuff,
Yeah.
dude. It would be more reasonable for him to be like, hey, listen,
Hey, put
I
it back
get
on.
it.
Yeah.
Especially if she has her bra on. I get it, but that is not something I'm cool with. I don't like that kind of nonchalant attitude, especially about that kind of stuff. And, it doesn't sit well with me. It's fine. But moving forward, because it's levels of accountability, would you go to a music festival and be in the middle of a crowd without a bottle of water? I sure as hell wouldn't.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Especially
I've been to places where you don't have nothing to drink and you're down on the floor or something like that, and you got to leave to go
no,
get something to drink.
for
But
sure. But
and they're 18s, they don't be planning. We've been to Burning Man and people in the middle of the desert, weird situations.
I don't think either of them are right or either of them are wrong. That's just my opinion. I think there's a definitely gross miscommunication between the two
Yeah.
on preference and where they stand with that preference. But as I said, I don't think she's necessarily the a-hole and or her friends, because if she's sitting there with a group of people and they're safe and they can not necessarily protect her, but they're conscious of the people they're with, and they're not going to be like, oh, my friend's like drunk, like it'll be all right, she'll be okay, leave her there, or something like that kind of stuff.
Well,
Like,
I'll play the other side to that. He could be worried. I don't know the crowd situation. Maybe he didn't want dudes trying to get handsy and ended up being in a fight. I mean, that could have happened very
was
easily.
he even there? Did it say if he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
even there?
They were all there.
He was there too?
Yeah. But the thing is, the only thing this is what I don't like about sometimes these stories. Like, you could tell she's totally trying to sway the story the way she wrote it. I'm not going to leave over this. I understand his point of view and his boundaries, and I'm willing to respect that now. Well, you should have been willing to respect it then. Obviously, I think he overreacted. I don't think she's the a-hole. I do think he overreacted. It was like, he should have just been like, hey, put your shirt back on. I don't like she's trying to be like, oh, I was overheating and I took my shirt off. tie your shirt up in a knot, tuck your sleeves back in or something. You know what I mean?
There's many different
yeah.
avenues in that scenario,
We'll
but
see what the
also too,
comments say. Oh yeah, go
the
ahead.
reality is they're kids, man, and like
Yeah.
there probably wasn't a lot of talk about just boundaries in general and where they stand with that stuff. So, I mean, that's just normal kid shit, dude. I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
he
Some girls are
might be a
writing.
little extreme.
Yeah,
He might
some
be a
girls are
little
writing in the
extreme.
fact that you're saying he's overprotective is a big red flag. You feeling unwell should have been the main priority. Like if you were feeling that unwell, you would have left. If you were feeling that unwell, you would have said, "Hey, can we go take me to go get something to drink?" You were in a group of friends. You couldn't have just your
Exactly.
group of friends couldn't have took you to get some water. Hey, I think I'm overheating. Let me go get some water. No, I'm gonna rip my shirt off. I'm just saying,
Thought processes, bro,
if
rationales and stuff like that, man. Like they know that to me, that stuff doesn't line up. I'm like, things aren't lining up here.
a guy in here
But once
says,
again, like if it was older,
"Yeah,
if they were in their like 30s or 40s or something, and say we were like I was 35 and I was at a music festival with my girl and she did that, and I would definitely be like, hey man, like that's not kosher with me just because the atmosphere we're in. Regardless of whether or not you feel safe, in my opinion, safety is kind of like an illusion unless you are a protector type of person,
yeah."
you know?
You got some guys in here that are like, just to get some different points of views, because some men, like you said, there's girls here where I live in Kentucky where they're very modest. I mean, there's some girls that won't even wear dresses that aren't long sleeve. I mean, down to their ankles and stuff, like Mennonites and stuff like that, even like the Amish girls and stuff. But there's some girls that don't. So this one says the obvious reason for any woman to remove her shirt is because she wants to cheat. I don't think that's true either, but
I don't
that
think
could
that's
be
true.
from a guy who's, once again, imagine if you're raised like in the country on a farm and you see your mom dressing, very modest her whole life, stuff like that. There's just different levels. And obviously we're not going to get that from a couple paragraphs of writing. But
Yeah.
what happened? You got a little bear in the cave there, buddy?
It's dry out here, bro. I live in high desert.
It says, I never understood why people get so upset about seeing women in their bras when so many bras cover much more than bikini tops, which is
Well,
true too.
and that's what I was just about to say, man. Like most of the time girls are in bikini tops and shorts. Is there really a difference? The coverage and material for sure. If
No,
the
some
bra's
bikinis
lacy
are
and thin,
some bikinis are so, I mean,
skimpy.
I see girls like my daughter's 14 and there's some girls that go to her school that be wearing volleyball shorts that ain't no way in heck I'm letting my daughter dress like that. Cheeks hanging out, moose knuckle just rammed up in there. And I'm just like, your dad is sitting right there. Like, as a father, I'm not saying you need to be looking, but I make sure just like, hey, you're putting,
Well, you have accountability as a dad. You know what
oh,
is
yeah.
okay and what isn't okay. It's not, we've never been followers in the sense that they're doing it, we'll do it. Like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how we are.
Well,
Like, go ahead.
I was gonna say another scenario is recently Hayden all summer long has been going to the gym with me. And it's very
Hmm.
hard because she sees all these girls in the gym and gym's not like it used to be, they're coming in full
No, for
makeup,
sure.
crop tops, spandex tighter than anything you've ever seen, you know what I mean? Cheeks hanging over there doing
Yeah.
RDLs bent wide over, lunges and stuff. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's not gonna be you. Daddy will buy you some nice gym shark if that's what you want. She can wear leggings. I'll let her wear like a top that at least covers part of her belly. Like Cheryl's real big.
Hmm.
She doesn't like her belly showing. And I personally don't think like belly and shoulders don't like, you can wear like a small straps or something. I don't find that
That's
inappropriate
why
as much as your ass cheeks hanging out.
That's why there's differences between inappropriate and tastefulness.
Situational
You can wear
awareness. Yeah.
you can be tasteful about your attire opposed to just not caring and being, "Oh, I'm comfortable." Like, "Hey, that's great." But like obviously as an adult, you have to weigh those things when you meet somebody, but when you're young and you're a kid, you meet somebody you don't know, you're thrust into situations you don't know how to handle just
Yeah.
because these are your first times with these situations. And, hopefully both of them take this as
Well,
a learning moment for
yeah. Well, I mean,
themselves moving
I do
forward.
like the fact that she said that too. I understand his point of view. I just think he overreacted a little bit. Hopefully we move forward. I'm not gonna leave over this. I mean, at least she's smart,
Yeah.
has enough head on
I
her
mean, he's a
shoulders.
little extreme being like,
Yeah.
you were trying to cheat. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know about that. It wasn't like she took her top off and then she was like, this dude kissed me and I didn't kiss
Yeah.
him, that kind of stuff. But we hear stuff about people getting groped all the
Yeah.
time and public
Look
situations
at
like that. And
I was gonna say when we went to Venezuela, the beaches the first time we went down there, and girls were like in thongs and stuff, and dudes were
oh yeah,
wearing little speedos.
well,
We
that's
weren't used to
cultural
that. That was
difference, but
cultural. Yeah.
sexualization of stuff in Latin communities is definitely higher than it is in America. The modesty level in America versus Latin communities, I think, is a little bit higher just because it's, that's just the way the culture is. And we were exposed to that. But I also know when I was 13, I didn't want to wear a Speedo.
Oh
And as a
yeah.
grown man, I don't want to
Yeah.
wear a Speedo, bro. Miss me with that
Yeah,
bullshit.
see, and that's the thing
Like,
too, is like I
out
wear
here just,
boxer briefs, they look like
yeah,
shorts. 'Cause
they're
that's what I
super
wear for
nice.
some
Like,
package, if you know what I mean.
girls are a little more lenient with the guy taking their shirt off, but if they took their pants off, depending on what, like if
Yeah.
you're in boxers, maybe you are okay. But if you're in boxer
It's
briefs, like most girls are like, nah, bro,
I see
put
girls
your
fighting
stuff
for that
back
whole
on.
right. Well, guys have their shirt off. We can have our shirt off too. And I'm like, it's not. Me personally, that's not the same thing. You walking around with your boobies hanging out is not the same thing as a guy walking around without a shirt on. You have to have your shirt on. It's a business. It's a place of respect, just a respect thing, I think, and that's good to teach.
As far as the story goes, man, I think they're both.
Yeah.
Neither person is wrong.
Yeah, I don't think either
I
one of
think
them's an
they can both be a
a-hole.
little extreme in their opinions,
Yeah.
but I feel like a conversation about personal preference is due,
Yeah,
especially
at
if they
least they
continue
got
to stay
I mean, there
together.
was over a couple thousand comments on this, so everybody has huge
Yeah.
opinions on it, which is okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but mostly everybody's saying the same thing. Like, you guys are in a new relationship starting out. It's good to find middle ground. Don't take things to heart. Then there's people that are like swinging, oh, break up with them. And then there's guys that are, oh, break up with her. Those guys just,
Yeah.
But everything here seems pretty good. Well, let us know what you're comfortable with. Would you let your girl whip her top off at a concert? But
Would you care if she whipped her top off and she had a bra versus bikini top on underneath it? Like, would you be okay with either of, or would you just be okay with the bikini top because of what it is?
yeah. All right. We'll catch y'all for the next one.